Good morning, everybody. You are here for DocuSign Templates. You are in the right place. We'll be getting started in just a couple minutes. All right, so we should, of course, have more people that'll be joining us. Good morning. It is 11 o'clock, and we are very mindful of everybody's time. We are glad to have our next step in DocuSign. So today, Kimberly is walking us through templates and other important questions that you might have regarding DocuSign now that we've been working on it. I don't know about you, but I found some things that I need to be better at and to understand. So she's here to help us. If you have a question regarding something else, put it in the chat so I make sure that we check it. And then if you have something that's you're unsure about while she's going along, don't hesitate to jump in. In the meantime, please mute yourselves so that everybody can have attention to Kimberly. So thank you, Kimberly. Yay. And take it away.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Everybody see the DocuSign?
Yes.
All right, so to create a template, you have to log in to DocuSign.com. If you're in the room section and you're wondering how to get to that part, all you do is click your profile and switch to e-signature. But if you go straight to DocuSign.com, log in, it's the same login information. And it's going to take you to the DocuSign e-signature homepage. So to get to the template section, you just click on template at the top. And here is where you'll create your templates. So there's a couple of things you can do. So for example, if you already have templates in .loop, you can still go into .loop and download that template that has your information already in it, such as your name, your license number, etc. Or if you just want a plain PDF to upload, the easiest way is to go to FMLS and go to RDocs. Forms Manager. And that'll take you to this page in Georgia Association All Forms. And then just type in the form you're looking for. And that is how you can get the KW logo GAR forms. So you just hit that little download button. Click on your purchase and sell. We're pretending we have a listing. And my computer, I don't know if everybody's computer will let you, but I can go ahead and type into this document. So I could go ahead and type all my information here and save it, and then just upload it. But let's just say we're going to do a flat PDF with no information. So I've downloaded, I saved this document to my computer. And now I'm going to click New and Create Template. So we're going to name this Purchase and Sell. And then I am going to upload that PDF that I just downloaded. Now we have a flat PDF that is blank. So the next step, does someone have a question? The next step is creating the roles. Very important that you create roles with your templates. So this is a purchase and sell. So my first role will be buyer 1, add recipient, buyer 2, and then you're going to add yourself. So you could put your name, or right now I'm just going to put agent. And then if you go down, you can create an email subject, and then you can even put a message here. Please let me know if you have any questions. So anytime you use that template, that's going to show up already. Everybody with me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you could add multiple documents if you wanted to send the wire fraud and affiliated marketing disclosure. You could add those here as well. So we're going to go to next, top right corner.
So Kimberly, this would be great for a exclusive buyer brokerage where it's the same information you're filling in time after time after time.
Right.
To go ahead and have this all set.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Would y'all rather me upload a buyer, or does it?
Doesn't matter. Just I was just thinking of what would be a document that I would that nothing would change on, and that's one that I think would.
For your purchase and sale, really all you're going to be able to add is your information at the bottom.
Right.
You're not filling that out every time.
Which that automatically fills in anyway, right? If you
most of the time, yes.
Yeah.
Almost all the information. All right. So when you get to your contract, very important that you notice top left-hand corner is showing buyer 1. Buyer 1's not filling this contract out. You are. So you have to switch that to yourself. Now we're ready to add our template text boxes to our contract. So here's your text box. You just click it, put it where you want it, and you're usually going to always have to modify the box size. From here, if you want, you can go back and keep clicking each one, but instead of having to resize each one, you can just click on the original that I created and copy and paste.
I'm tired.
And then just drag it, and it's already kind of already sized to where you need it. So I hit Control C, Control V. That's the easiest way to copy and paste. And if you notice to the right, these are required fields. So if you're not going to fill out every single field, you need to uncheck that. See how it turned white? So again, you're doing copy C, copy V, and so forth when you get to your check boxes.
Kimberly, I have a question. Once you fill all these text box and send it, does that keep them as a template or it doesn't?
Say that again.
Like, I want to use that as a template, and I saw you downloaded the flat document and now you're adding all these entry. But once you send it, will it always keep that as a template? Because mine is not doing it.
So you have to save it to the templates side. And then when you create your room, you're going to grab that template from an envelope. And we'll get to that in just a second.
Okay. All right, thanks.
All right, so check boxes. Again, you just put it where you want. You can hit the little plus sign. It'll create a text for you. You could drag over, Control C, Control V, and it'll copy and paste both of them. So the first time you do it, it is going to take a little bit of time to add every single text field, checkbox. etc. So the main thing,
And so if you had filled this out in our docs and saved it, then you wouldn't have all of that stuff. It would just be adding signature boxes and stuff like that.
so earlier I downloaded my RDocs form and I input everything here and saved it. So now I just uploaded that document. All my stuff is already there.
Mhm.
But let's say it's not there and you want to add your information, you just do the same thing you did before. Just add your text box, double click it, and then just type all your info in. And then just keep filling everything in you want till you have all your information.
When you change those and you uncheck that box, do you have to do a read only box too?
No. Are you talking about when I created the text?
Yeah, that one.
No.
You don't have to do read only. So if you just do unclick the required field, that's all you need.
So really, when you're creating the template, it doesn't matter. However, when you go into, let's say I put a required field, when you email it to yourself, it's going to ask you to put something in that field. So that's why you want to uncheck that required.
So you don't have to add anything when you're signing. Yeah.
I would uncheck every single text box in the form and then just copy and paste everything else.
Got it. Okay.
So you're not unchecking every single box. All right, so I'm pretending I have all my fields filled in. So here are your initials. So you have to go back up and change it to your buyer 1 to their initial and put it in their spot. And then I got to change to buyer 2 initial. So always make sure they're color coded, matches the signature field. Let's go back down to the signature page. Buyer signature. That'd be buyer 2, I'm sorry. 2, back to buyer 1. And then your signature. Now we are done. So everybody with me? All right, so we have all of our text fields, our initials, our signatures. We have everything in place and we're gonna save and close. And there is my purchase and sell that is saved with everything I just put in it in your templates. So now we want to go to our rooms. We've already created our opportunity. And we go to our transactions, which takes us to our DocuSign room. So we're in the details sections. You want to make sure you go ahead and input your buyer 1. You got to scroll all the way down, hit edit, buyer 1. Name it DocuTemp. Put in your buyer 1's email. And if you have a buyer 2, put in their name and email, and then your info, which should already populate. I did not input everything for my opportunity, so it didn't. But always double check. All right, so we have our names and email, sorry. And save. You have to have their information in the details section.
How do you get it to the agent information to auto-populate from command?
In your opportunity, most of the time when you fill everything in, it auto-populates. I'm not sure why this did not. So I'm not really sure why this one didn't. But normally when I create an opportunity and go to a room, it populates all the information.
Right.
I think it's because I didn't fill in any details here.
But I've noticed, or I've realized with buyers, I don't want all the detailed information. I want the buyer's information in mind, but everything else, until you know that that deal is going to go, it's just a waste of time because then it has to be changed, right?
Right. Plus, whenever you create your first document within the documents and you fill it out, all that information will automatically populate to all your other contracts once you bring them in. I have noticed that. All right, so we have our details. So to get to templates, you have to be in an envelope. So I'm going to go straight to an envelope.
Okay. All right. After you're done mowing, can you empty the water?
And then I'm going to create a new envelope. And I always like to name the envelope because once you get about 10 different envelopes, they get very confusing of which one is which. So we're going to say purchase and sell. I would maybe even put the date because you might have other purchase and sells. And then we're going to use a template.
Okay.
My templates. And then there's my purchase and sell I just created. While I'm here to access other templates that I created and shared with the office, such as the HOA, the community disclosure, and the property disclosure, you can find those under shared with me. It's taking a minute, but my templates are going to be what you create. Shared with me will be what I created for you and shared with you. So here's my templates. I'm going to click on, where'd it go?
So Kimberly, I've always gone into an envelope by clicking in the documents section up in the top left corner and picking all of them. Is it easier to just go to the envelope and name it and then pick your documents here?
If you're only using templates that you created, then it's easier just to go straight to an envelope.
Got it. But if I have documents that I filled out, it's probably easier to do it back there because then I know which ones I've done. Okay. All right, cool.
Click your purchase and sell. If you can add the wire fraud, any other templates you created, and add selected. And then you have to add, but this is where people, especially on the disclosures for templates, this is where people mess up. They don't add the recipients and the pre-tag roles. You have to click the pre-tag roles for those signature templates to show up. So always hit your pre-tag role, which is anybody that you added to the details. And there's my agent. That is me. And my buyer one. I named that DocuSign. I didn't put a buyer two. So now I just add selected. And now you want to go to next. And here are those fields that I added to my templates earlier. There's the initial. So if I didn't hit that pre-tag role, nothing would be there. And I would have to manually switch over to my buyer and add their initial. That's why it's important to click the pre-tag roles. And then everybody's signature is there, and all of my information is already there.
If you've got a template, can you fill it out in the documents section, the extra information that you need, and just to save it versus doing it in here? Because once you do it here, you basically have to send it, right?
Right. No, you can't add a template on the DocuSign document side.
So that's one downfall of using the template is you can't work on it until after until you're ready to send it.
I mean, you can put it here and then click, you can still add it to the envelope and then save and close. And
Okay, there you go.
There. And that's what another reason why you want to name your envelope. So when you come back to your envelopes, you might have 3 or 4 other ones in there, but I know that's my purchase and sale I was just working on.
Got it.
Click on it.
So that's how you would do it, Courtney, is you're going to do it there and save and close, not go to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
So once you're here, this is where you would fill everything out. So you double click, put your offer date, and then input all your information. Your signature field's already there. One thing I did forget to mention, let's go back. Let's say I get here and I notice I forgot to input a text for the name. So I'm gonna go back to my templates. Let's close out of this. Uh-oh. Go back to templates. I'm going to go back to my purchase and sell, hit this little drop down, click edit, go to next, because I want to make a correction, and I'm gonna go back down to my buyer's information. And the easiest way to do this, make sure you go up here to your buyer 1, and you can, there's a name tab. So when you put that, whoever you put in your details will auto-populate to this. So you're not typing in their name every time. And then there's a date tab too. So whenever they open this contract and sign it, that date will auto-populate as well. And there's even an email too for your email address. So all of this information will populate from the details section. Save and close. You'll want to do that for your buyer 2 as well. Now I am interested to see if this will update within the envelope. Not sure if it will or not. Okay, it did not. So let's go back. Now let's just get rid of it. And then we're going to add that template again. Well, I don't know what happened there. So I guess we have to create a new envelope. For some reason, I'm getting an error. I think that's why.
Kimberly, also somebody mentioned that, Krishna mentioned that she has been using templates and everything's working perfectly except the check boxes. Have you had any problem with the check boxes?
If you're trying to check it, then you have to double click it.
Double click the checkbox.
Yeah, if you're trying to put a check mark in the checkbox, you have to double click.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure why I keep getting an error. Am I the only one getting errors? I'm just going to create a new one. Okay, so it doesn't show here, but once you email it, it will show up on your buyer side. They'll see their name, the date, and the email. And then when you get it back as a PDF that everybody signed, that will show up. So a little shortcut for you to sign your contract is that you can click on the envelope. See, it needs my signature. And then you can sign from here. Or you can make a correction. It'll take you back to that envelope. You can correct any information and then resend. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign here. See, those were required fields. So now it's making me input that information again. So just make sure you do not make those required fields. I do sometimes for the purchase and sell, I'll sign last and then add required fields here. And so that way I can bind it as soon as I sign it. But you'll have to wait and make sure your buyer signs first. Does that make sense? And then I'm going to go to my other email in a second.
Can you show everybody how to put the property in order? The documents, like if you have multiple documents that you're sending in.
I just want to show you what it looks like once everything comes back. Sign. I'm signing as the buyer, so give me a second.
And yes, there is a way to select who gets the email first in an envelope. When you pick the recipients, there are numbers to the left-hand side and you choose 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. And see, I like to sign first because then I look over it one more time and that way I know it's on its way. And then you always get the email alerting you afterwards and then you can forward it on or whatever. So
what do you do when you find it?
If you sign it first and then later when you have to bind it, you know, doesn't it remove the other signature like it did in the past?
No.
Okay, like in the dot loop
You,
time. Yeah.
Julianne, how do you bind it?
I do it after the fact. After they've signed it, then I can go in and accept it or bind it, whatever.
But do you download it and then re-upload it?
Well, yeah, well, it's the signed copy is in your document section. So I open up that signed copy and then I can bind it from there and it doesn't erase those signatures.
That's what I
Yeah.
do as well. I was making sure there wasn't another shortcut. So here's my signed
No,
document.
it's great. So it's a lot different from dot loop because when you're in dot loop, you had to make a copy and this way it's already here.
Kimberly and Julianne, this is Nisha. The way I do that is that I put a recipient as myself, one more at the end. Let's say I put first as an agent, and then 2 as a buyer, and then 3 for myself one more time. So after the buyer sign, it comes back to me for me to bind. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that can work too.
I see. Thank you.
You got options. That's a good thing.
So what I've been doing is I check mark it because it's everything, everybody's signed. So anytime you get a signed document, you'll see the green signed. And I download it. And then I go to an envelope, create new, hit more, and then just upload it. So now it's a flat PDF with signatures. So this will be my binding DNS. Next, I need to add here. You can just add yourself, room participant. Next. And here you could just do your date, or you can just type it in a text. And I always just do a signature. And then send. And then again, here's my binding. I can just click on it, sign. See, my date's already there and time, sign it and finish. And now you have a binding purchase and sell. All right, so now you'll notice you have 2 purchase and sells.
And may I just say, for those that are brand new, you're not binding that purchase and sale agreement unless all parties on both sides have signed and you're the last one to
Right.
receive all the signatures. I just want to make sure everybody's clear on that because I have a lot of new agents thinking they fill that out at the beginning. No.
So technically, correct me, Julian, whoever signs last is supposed to bind it, correct?
No, whoever receives it after everyone has signed is the one
Okay.
that binds.
So you have 2 sign, purchase and sell. I should have renamed it, but I didn't. So let me go down and make sure this is the correct one that's binded. Nope. So this is my binded one. So what I like to do to avoid confusion is create folders for my final signed docs. So you go up to actions and you're going to add folder. And this will be, you can name whatever you want, final docs. sign doc and create. So you'll see over here, here's my final sign docs, and then these room docs are all of my docs. So I want to move this binding one. So you check mark it, and there's a little move tab. You're going to stay in your active room. One second. I don't know why. Oh, I see now. Hold on. In current room, not active room. I'm sorry. But that is good. Let's say it terminated and you had to create a new room and you wanted to move your original buyer brokerage agreement. You could go to active rooms and then find your new room to move it to, instead of downloading and re-uploading. So we're in our current room, and there's my final signed doc envelope or folder, and then I'm gonna move. So now my final doc is here. So that I know this is my final one that I'm gonna have to bring over to command. It makes it 10 times easier. So when you're here, you go to under contract and you go to bring over that purchase and sell. I'm gonna click on my DocuSign tab, find my folder, and just that one doc is gonna show up instead of all 5 of them. Then I just click it and assign.
That's really
Yeah, I just realized that active, but yeah, Sherry does want us, when something terminates, she wants us to create a whole new opportunity for that transaction. So you would have to bring over your original documents, for example, for a buyer or your listing agreement. So I just noticed that.
So wait a minute, say that again. So if you've gotten under contract
Right. And you
and
submitted,
it terminates, you still have to have an opportunity in there.
she wants you to create a new opportunity if it terminates.
A new opportunity?
Because once we start using our commissions tab, you can only submit one commission for an opportunity.
Do you know how to separate those out?
Separate.
New
So
opportunity?
she wants you to go and let's pretend this terminated. So go into your details. And she wants you to rename the opportunity name to terminated. And then go back in and create a whole new opportunity.
With that person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But this was a listing and you had a bunch of different offers. I just talked to somebody today who has 10 offers on a property. You're going to put all those offers, they want all of those offers in command, right?
Yes. But I'm saying, let's say you submitted a purchase and sell and you went under contract and it terminated, then you would create a whole new opportunity.
Got it. For that person. All right.
Right.
So if that's, and if that's the case, then you wouldn't have, no, you still could. So I'm thinking about a buyer. So you terminated on one, you create a new opportunity. So that's a new room in
So you have to
DocuSign.
bring over your buyer brokerage
Mm-hmm.
to that new room, which I just realized if you hit actions, or I'm sorry, no, I didn't want to do that. So if you click on, let's pretend this is my buyer brokerage, and I go to move, and I go to active rooms, all your rooms are going to show up that you created, and you could just quick and easily move it to that new room. Right.
But if you had a buyer and you had put offers in and none of them had been accepted, you have multiple offers, you're still working within one room.
Right, because until you submit the commissions tab, you can work within that room. If
Right.
you submit a
So-
commission and then it terminates, that's when you have to create a new one.
Right. So for those that are working with buyers that are having trouble finding something or getting under contract, the best thing for you to do is create folders.
Yep, add a folder for that address and just keep them all there. And just have them all separated.
And you can only have one purchase and sale form in a room anyway.
Right.
Do you know how to split documents and then combine them?
Yes. So
It's a really cool feature.
all you have to do is right click on the document and there's your split. Let's say that the other agent sent you multiple documents in one PDF. So you can upload that one document, right click it, and then split. And it will split each, or you choose how you want to split it. So let's say this is one form and then this is the second one. You would just,
This is cool.
Oh,
That would be
For
handy.
example, I had a listing, a seller send me an updated seller's disclosure, and they only updated the one page.
so you would put in the numbers you want to split. So let's say I would
Right.
split the signature page. I don't know what just happened. Hold on. What am I doing wrong here, Julie?
You have to give it a name.
Ah, okay. See, there's my signature page. So it's just that one page that I split from that document. So you could do 3 through 5, and it would save that one contract. Any other questions about anything you're having trouble with or confused about?
I have a quick question. So if we have a different documents and we want to combine and make it one PDF, can we do that?
Yes, very easy.
So the way I've done it is in envelopes. If you have multiple documents in the envelope and you view documents and you download, sorry. Well,
It's actually really easy in the documents section. You go to documents and you click on whichever documents, click on a couple of them. And then you go up above, and there's a combine. It's over to the
right there.
combine.
I see.
You can combine
Thank
them
you.
into one PDF. Yep, it's super easy.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
think once you get that final email and you download them, I think that's when it gives you the combine option as well. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Will you show everybody where you have created the templates that we can use so far?
Mm-hmm. So let's say we need to send our clients the community disclosure and the property disclosure. Those do not work within DocuSign. You can't grab them from here. So I have created templates for those two forms. So again, to go to templates, you just go into envelopes, create a new one. Use templates. And then you have to click shared with me because these are templates I created and shared with you. I've also put the affiliated marketing wire fraud, so that's in one more place you can grab it. Community association and seller's property. And then there's a pay at close and an amendment. So again, very important. If you do not click the pre-tagged role, your clients will not be able to fill these forms out unless you click the pre-tagged role. The seller 1.
Now, a question for you, Kimberly. Since I've never had my people do it electronically because they always forget something. Usually the box is for descriptions. But if you didn't have a choice and you were having them fill it out online, do we need to have them initial every page so that it shows that they're the ones that filled it out and not us?
You could, just to protect you, but I mean, they sign it. So I don't know.
I know that Sherry always said that she preferred one that was handwritten because if there was any question, we want to make sure that no one considers or thinks that we filled it out for them because we're not supposed to. So
right.
I just was trying to think through that.
So if you did, you could, once you add it and you add your pre-tag roles and you get to next, you could switch over to them and then just add an initial to each page.
For each page, yeah.
Right.
If you want. Okay, cool.
So everything.
That took you a lot of time. Thank you so much.
Yes, it did.
And if you're going to do it this way, you have to really, well, you'd have to look at them anyway, but make sure that they fill it out correctly. Just review it.
Mm-hmm. So since I added myself, I can input the address for them, or you can just have them fill it out and then send. And I always like to go through, make sure the signature fields did populate. So they did. And then send, they'll be able to fill it out, e-sign, and then submit it back to you.
What happens if they sign it, fill it out, sign it, but they miss some spots? Can they miss a spot, or do they have to put something in every single box?
No, to make it easy, I didn't make any required fields.
So they could skip some.
Right. But if you want
And
to,
what would happen if they skipped it?
that would be your responsibility to review it and make sure. So you can resend it to them.
Okay.
There's that correct. Let's say I sent it, they submitted. I would probably just download it and then add the field that they missed and then resend it.
Okay. Rather than have them redo it all.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder, can you split a template?
And correct it. So if they did miss something, you could try to correct it this way. And they would have to re-sign though.
Right. Okay. All right.
So I guess once they signed and it shows up in your documents, you could split it.
Right.
And just send them that one page.
Is there a difference between checkboxes that are circles and some that are X's, or boxes? Is there a
About the
difference?
checkbox and the radio? The circle?
I don't know. Someone
Yeah,
just said
radio.
radio.
Okay, yes, there is a difference. So,
Okay, next, I never heard of the word radio before.
okay, here we go. If you're creating your own template, let me go back to, I'll have to go back to templates. I don't know, I keep getting the error. The only time you really need to use the radio buttons, which is right here, is if you created a template for your property disclosure or your community disclosure. So for example, this right here, or you could, I guess you could use it. Well, no, you're filling this out. So it's only really when your clients are filling something out. But if I used a radio button here, and then I sent it as a required radio button, they have to choose one of those. It will not let you submit unless they choose one or the other.
One or the other. Okay.
Correct.
So that's what the radio means. It's a checkbox, but it's
Check
either
boxes,
or.
I can check all of them.
Got it. This one
Radio
is
button, I can only choose one. See?
got it.
So you could, if you created your own disclosures, you could make everything required and use these radio buttons, making it to where they can't miss anything. They have to choose one or the other. But
So
it just-
Kimberly, when you're doing the check boxes, I've put them in before and then can get them out. Is it because you need to double click them as well to remove them?
No, you just click on it and either hit backspace or delete.
Oh, the delete. There you go. But that's if you're creating something. But if you're in the document itself and you're checking the box.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else had problems with that? Like once it's checked, it won't go away. I have to check something else, but something has to be checked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. User
As a
error.
brand new agent, you could keep all of these fields that you know you have to fill out, such as the price, the closing costs, all of this. You can make it a required field so you don't, to make sure you don't miss any of that.
Mhm. Especially 8B and 9. Those are the ones that they miss all the time.
Mm-hmm.
8,
Here
9,
you have
9.
to put 0.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right.
Any other questions?
Other questions? Want to know, how are you guys doing with DocuSign? Are you starting to feel more comfortable with it?
Yes.
Yes, the more you do, the more you get comfortable with it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think in many ways it's actually easier than .loop.
Yeah, and also when you do more of it, then you know the tricks how to get things done. So you don't go around and around and do repeat.
Exactly. Any tips? Can we do anything remotely, like on our phone, Kimberly, with DocuSign?
I haven't tried it myself. I have, there is an app. There's a DocuSign Room app. Actually, I read on the Facebook pages that if you just save it, actually, maybe they have changed it. I don't know, I would have to play with it, but it's this little yellow DocuSign.
Mm-hmm.
So that's regular DocuSign where the template side, but that's the rooms. So if anybody tries it and it works, please let me know.
Yeah, has anybody played with it at all? I'm curious.
I haven't played with it, but the description says we can upload, we can sign, stay looped in. Yeah, you can upload documents and you can sign it.
Cool. Which will be great when we're out in the field on the go again, more than we are right now, which is okay, right? So yeah, there's tools out there all over the place, which is very cool. Other questions about DocuSign or templates? Any questions or problems that you're having right now? Now is the time to ask. No? Awesome. Well, Kimberly, thanks again for your time today and for helping us to get more proficient with DocuSign. As always, this recording will be on quantrain.com, so don't miss it out if you forgot to jot down some notes or you want to preview it again. And everybody have a great day. Jump on with us at 1 o'clock. We've got an amazing guy that's a bold and maps coach who's going to be talking to us about making the next 90 days the best fit ever. Okay? Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Kimberly. Thank you,
Kimberly.
Julianne.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.